In day-to-day business operations, an organization must focus on 4 elements: policy, process, procedure, and props. A policy is a company-wide rule that is always followed without exception. A process is an explanation of how to create a service or particular product that confirms and implements policies to ensure that operations continue. Procedures are the step-by-step instructions to complete a process. Finally, props are the supportive measures and tools that allow the policies, process, and procedures to function optimally, such as forms, computers, printers, telephones, shredders, etc. A good policy is a rule or guideline that secures consistency, complies with an organization's mission, strategic goals, and values, and provides direction for all departments within a business. In most cases, upper management creates policies to influence their business decisions, such as, "We will always use email to communicate current business practices to the organization." While that policy is clearly necessary, what happens in the event that something goes wrong, and somehow along the line someone does not share an important message via email? In light of that, simply having a policy is not enough. The finer details within a policy should explain why it is needed, which department it applies to, and the people responsible for performing it. A process can be shared across departments and is a thorough explanation of how something ought to work. Processes adhere to company policies and clearly state which people or departments are responsible for particular parts of the task and when they should be completed. A process related to the company policy of using email to communicate to the organization would be as follows. The yearly performance reviews have been completed. The employees need to be informed about what they can expect in terms of a possible wage increase. The CEO must send a communication about wage increases based on performance reviews to employees. The groups involved are the CEO, HR, and the leadership team. If a process is a general overview, then a procedure is focused, specific, and gives continuous instructions for when and how to execute each step of the process. Procedures spell out who is responsible for which task, and in many cases, employees often give vital input into creating procedures because they are most actively involved in using them, with some direction via upper management, in the form of a policy. The procedure related to the email policy mentioned earlier would be: first, the CEO drafts an email about wage increases based on recent meetings with human resources about performance reviews. Next, the information is reviewed by the CEO, HR, and the leadership team. Then, the leadership team reaches a consensus on the details of the wage increases. Last, the executive assistant to the CFO sends out the official email communication to all employees of the company. Finally, props allow all elements related to the policy to be carried out effectively, any tool that facilitates ease of implementation. For example, computers, meeting rooms, pens, papers, docking stations, etc. aid in ensuring that communication between the leadership and the employees flows in a consistent and reliable manner. When a company sets up a fully functional infrastructure that includes policies, processes, procedures, and props, employees work more efficiently. As a result, they feel confident in their work, which makes the company successful. Ultimately, goals are scalable and company growth will materialize.